From time to time, as you know, we try to highlight one of the ministries that Common Ground Biker Church supports. I think you know that now there are 9 different ministries that we support in the United States and abroad. And today we want to highlight Chrysalis. A good time to do that because we're in the middle of our fundraiser for Chrysalis. And any of you that don't know what I'm speaking of, Jim spoke of it just a minute ago, but these jars over here are part of our fundraiser. And if you have not collected your jar yet before you go home today, you might want to do that and be a part of that fundraiser. And after you hear our guest speaker today, I'm sure you're going to want to do that. A couple of weeks ago, we heard from Providence, which is the man's version of Chrysalis, which we will hear from today. I want to introduce Tammy Kramer to you. She's going to be our speaker, and then she's going to introduce someone that's going to speak on the side. Tammy has been with Chrysalis for 10 years, and she came to, the Holy Spirit spoke to her about getting involved with Chrysalis when she was in a venue very much like this, and Marcia was speaking to them. And she felt it laid on her heart to begin to minister through Chrysalis. And she's had many different jobs there. Now she is the developmental director. One of her many jobs. And you know, when you meet somebody, sometimes you are sensitive to their giftings. I hadn't met Tammy too long till I knew she has the gift of administration. And she's using that wonderfully for Chrysalis, and I thank you for that, Tammy. So she's going to come and tell you a little bit about Chrysalis today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us here today. We're so privileged and honored that we're one of the 9 ministries that this group of people supports. That's just awesome that you guys are so committed to. Oh, am I not loud enough? Closer? Better?
Yeah, closer to the mic. I'll try to adjust it.
Okay. I'm always afraid of spitting. I'm going to tell you, by the way, you guys have the best worship band in the valley, don't you think? That's what a privilege. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about myself because I believe our God is a God of divine appointments. And I'm a farm girl, local Idaho native. Both sets of my grandparents were homesteaded in the Homedale Wilder area. And my father was one of 8 boys on the farm, and I'm one of the oldest of 6 children of my father's. And 50% at least 50% of his brothers struggled with addiction. And my father died at the age of 38 from alcoholism, and left all of his kids with mom. And then played out pretty much 50% of my family, 50% of the brothers in the family. You know, you just see it, the devastation that addiction brings across the board in the family. So I come from a background that God has prepared me really well to come alongside other people. I understand it, and I have a great deal of empathy for the struggles that people go through when they're trying to rebuild their lives. So fast forward, I became a believer in my 20s, and then started in women's ministry and coming alongside women in particular, and I was randomly invited by my cousin to a fundraiser and met Marcia. And when I heard her story and met with her personally after that, I found out that she was working really hard, really tirelessly, and serving these women, and it was a great story, it was a great ministry, but I was just really concerned about her personally, that you're doing this all by yourself, and if you get hit by a bus, then what happens to this ministry? It's just like no one knows how to do it or to replicate it, and to carry it forward. And so that's kind of been where God's spoken to me in coming alongside of this ministry, is just helping her broaden her base, bring other people into it, and so that we can serve more women, because there's more and more women that that are coming out of prison looking for a place to go, and we have people in prison ministry that are leading women to the Lord, and then when they come out, they need a place to go where they can build on that foundation and their walk with God. So that's what we are. We're a faith-based ministry where they can come, and that's what our primary interest is in. We believe that without Jesus Christ, what are you going to build on? So that's where we focus. Is the pillars? Well, Jesus is our foundation, obviously. The pillars of our program are safety, structure, accountability, and integrity. And so that's what we're really in our environment when the women come to the home for those 18 months that Jim spoke about. That's what we're doing, is leading them through the process of getting to know Jesus, learning how to have that relationship with Him, walk with Him, and obey Him, and use that as their foundation in life. And Chrysalis, if you haven't heard about us before, Chrysalis is the safe place, the cocoon, where metamorphosis takes place and the caterpillar turns into a butterfly. And so that's what we want to create at Chrysalis, is that safe place where they can rebuild their lives, that transformation takes place, and when they're done with the program, then they can fly away as a butterfly and live with that freedom in Christ. And I'm going to have Jennifer come up and talk a little bit about that, what the experience has been like for her as a resident, someone who's come and been participating in the program.
I do come to this church. I love this church. What brought me to Chrysalis was you can't hear me? Okay, so hi. I love Chrysalis, and I'm from Nevada. I was a black tax lawyer for 20 years, and my son got married and had a baby in Idaho next week out here. I started bartending, and I was put on probation right away, and I decided I really wanted to change my life. I asked God what I wanted to do, and I decided I wanted to go to cosmetology school.
Can you
hear me?
Two mics. Use that one.
Is this better?
Use the other one.
Okay, I will. And so I prayed how I could serve God. I love God, and I just wanted a better lifestyle. And I was on probation, so they wouldn't let me come to Boise to go to school where I wanted to go to school at, which is Paul Mitchell. But because I was accepted to Chrysalis, I was able to move to Boise and follow my dreams. And it really is to serve the Lord in cosmetology. I'm attending Paul Mitchell now. I'm on the dean's list. I do very well. I love it. I hope I can bring glory to God's name in my service. And Chrysalis was so much more than I ever thought it would be. I thought it might just be somewhere to stay. And I have a support group of women that love the Lord, and they care about me, and they are like my cheerleaders. It was the best program ever in the world. And so I'm really nervous to talk, but it's about something I love, and that is Chrysalis. It's an amazing program, and I love this church.
Are there any questions that anyone would like to ask about Chrysalis? Any questions, any follow-up? I know a lot of you've supported us for several years, so I know some of you are more familiar with us than others. But if anyone has any questions, I'm going to be here afterwards to talk to you and answer anything that you'd like to know about us. But we so appreciate what you're doing. Thank you so much.
I'd like to know how many ladies are in the program.
So right now, we have under 30, like right at 30. We kind of things ebb and flow. Jim had mentioned that we have 4 houses. We actually closed one house here recently, and that's not a bad thing. We've had that particular house for 10 years, and it was not in really good condition, and so not a good place for our women to be. We couldn't maintain it, so we closed that, and we're scaling back and focusing on quality with the women that we have, and we're praying that if it's God's will that we expand back out and we have another home provided, that we'll be able to serve more women. But it is more about, it's not as much about the focus of housing as it's about being able to grateful that we've got the structure in place, we've got enough coaches, we've got enough staffing, resources available to serve the women, because we don't want to be about just a place to live. There's plenty of sober living out there that's not faith-based, that doesn't really have a program, and we want to do something, that glorifies God, and that takes a lot of resources and a lot of effort for people coming into it.